2:17 a.m. Her phone lit up. Still thinking about last night? She assumed I was clueless. 25 years, 3 kids, our electrical business gone because she couldn't keep her affair off the company credit card. When I said I'll handle the divorce papers, she froze. Too late. My name is Gary Brooks. I'm 57 years old, and I've spent the last 32 years building 2 things, a family and a business. Both seemed solid until one Tuesday evening when everything started to crack like bad wiring. I was in our home office in Akron, finishing up a bid proposal for a major commercial job. Brooks Electrical Services had grown from just me and a pickup truck to 18 good guys and a fleet that covered half of Summit County. Diane and I had built this business from nothing back when Sarah was just a baby. Now we had 3 kids, 2 grown and 1 finishing high school, and a life that looked pretty damn good from the outside. The clock showed 11:47 p.m. I heard Diane's Honda pull into the driveway. Late again, 3rd time this week. She'd said it was a networking event with other small business owners, some Chamber of Commerce mixer downtown. I walked to the kitchen to greet her, maybe warm up some leftovers. She came through the door and I noticed it immediately. Her hair was different, messed up but in a way that looked deliberate. Her lipstick was smudged at the corner, and there was a smell. Not her usual perfume, something else, something masculine and woodsy. "Gary," Diane said, dropping her purse on the counter. "You're still up." "Just finished the Patterson bid," I replied, studying her face. "How was the event?" "Exhausting." She kicked off her heels and headed toward the stairs. "I'm going to shower and crash." She didn't look at me. Not once. In 25 years of marriage, Diane always looked at me when she came home. Always kissed me hello. Always asked about my day before talking about hers. I stood in the kitchen, listening to the water running upstairs, and something cold settled in my chest. Not panic, not anger, just a quiet knowing. The kind that comes when your gut finally speaks louder than your hope. I walked back to the office and opened my laptop. Found her calendar, the one we shared for business purposes. Tonight's networking event wasn't listed anywhere. I checked her company email, the one she'd given me access to years ago for managing our accounts. Nothing about any mixer, no calendar invite, no confirmation email. That's when I started looking, really looking, and what I found would tear down everything I thought I knew about my marriage. The next morning, I acted like nothing had happened. Made coffee, scrambled eggs, asked Diane about her schedule. She sat at the kitchen table, scrolling through her phone, barely looking up. "Client meeting at 10, she said absently. "Then lunch with that potential supplier. I might be home late again." Sarah walked in, home from Ohio State for the week, 22 and sharp as a tack. She glanced between us, sensing something but saying nothing. Tyler thundered down the stairs next, 19 and perpetually hungry, grabbing toast without sitting down. "Where's Grace?" I asked. "Still getting ready," Sarah said. "She's stressing about some presentation today." Normal morning, normal family. Except nothing felt normal anymore. After everyone left, I went to my office and did something I never thought I'd do. I called my brother Kevin. He's a lawyer here in Akron, handles mostly small business stuff, and I needed advice before I went any further. When Kevin answered on the second ring, "What's up, Gary?" I hesitated. Saying it out loud would make it real. "I think Diane is having an affair." Silence. Then, "What makes you think that?" I told him everything. The late nights, the missing calendar entries, the smell, the way she'd stopped looking at me. Kevin listened without interrupting. "You need proof," he finally said. "Solid, undeniable proof, not just suspicions. If you're going to do this, especially with the business involved, you need documentation." "How do I get that without becoming someone I'm not?" I asked. Kevin's voice softened. "When you're protecting yourself and your kids, there's nothing wrong with being thorough. Check her phone records, credit card statements, anything you have joint access to. But don't do anything illegal. Don't hack her personal accounts. Stay clean." I spent the next 3 days digging through our financial records. Our business accounts were joint, everything transparent for tax purposes. That's where I found it. Charges at hotels in downtown Akron, not the ones we use for business meetings. These were nicer places, the kind with room service and fancy lobbies. Different transactions over the past 6 weeks. All on Thursdays, all charged to our business credit card under client entertainment. Then I found the receipts. Dinner for 2 at expensive restaurants. Wine that cost more than our monthly grocery bill. She'd categorized them as business expenses, deductible, smart, except I knew for a fact we had no clients meeting in those areas. I photographed everything, built a timeline, cross-referenced it with her calendar, the real one I found on her laptop. Every Thursday for the past 2 months, she'd blocked off personal time from 6 p.m. to midnight. The final piece came when I checked our company's partnership agreement, the one Diane and I had signed when we incorporated. I'd drafted it myself with Kevin's help back when we were young and optimistic and thought we'd never need the protective clauses. But there they were. Infidelity clause, buyout provisions, everything I needed to protect myself and our kids if this went where I thought it was going. I sat in my office staring at the evidence spread across my desk and felt something shift inside me. Not heartbreak, not rage, just cold, calculated clarity. I knew what I had to do next. I waited until Friday morning. Diane had just gotten back from her yoga class, hair still damp, wearing those expensive leggings she'd bought last month. The kids had already left, Sarah back to Columbus, Tyler to his community college classes, Grace to school. Perfect timing. Diane poured herself coffee, scrolling through her phone like always. I sat at the kitchen table, hands folded, watching her. I'd rehearsed this moment 100 times in my head, but now that it was here, I felt nothing but cold clarity. "We need to talk," I said. Diane glanced up, barely interested. "About what?" "About Scott Reynolds." Her hand froze mid-scroll, just for a second. The tell was tiny, but I caught it. Then she recovered, arranging her face into a mask of confusion. "Who?" "The guy you've been meeting at the Marriott every Thursday night," I said, keeping my voice level and calm. "The one you've been charging to our business account as client entertainment. The one who's been helping you spend $35,000 of company money over the past 2 months. The color drained from Diane's face. She set her coffee down slowly, carefully, like she was buying time to think. "Gary, I don't know what you're talking about." I slid a folder across the table. Diane stared at it but didn't touch it, like it might burn her. "Hotel receipts, restaurant charges, GPS data from your company car, which is also company property. I've got dates, times, locations, even the wine you ordered." I paused. "I also reviewed our partnership contract. You remember the infidelity clause, right? The one you thought was paranoid when I insisted Kevin draft it into our agreement?" Diane's jaw tightened. Her eyes flashed with something defensive, almost angry. "You've been spying on me, going through my things." "I've been reviewing our business expenses," I corrected her. "Something any 50% partner has the legal right to do. What I found was my wife systematically stealing from our company to fund an affair. That's embezzlement, Diane. That's fraud." She opened her mouth, closed it again. Her eyes darted toward the hallway, probably calculating if she could leave, regroup, come back with a better story. I'd seen her do it in business negotiations 100 times. "Don't," I said quietly. "Don't insult me by lying anymore. I've got everything. Text messages you thought were deleted, calendar entries, even statements from the hotel staff confirming you've been a regular guest." Diane's face changed. The mask slipped completely. What replaced it was something cold, calculating, defensive. "You want to know why?" Her voice rose. "Because you haven't touched me in over a year. Because all you care about is work and the kids and this house. Because I felt invisible in my own marriage." So there it was, the justification, the blame shifting I'd expected. I stood up slowly, walked to the counter, poured myself more coffee. My hands were completely steady. "Here's what's going to happen," I said. "You're going to call Scott. You're going to tell him you'll be free next week permanently because I'll be handling the divorce papers." Diane stared at me, completely frozen. Her eyes went wide, pupils dilating. "Wait," she whispered. "What?" "You heard me." "You can't be serious." Her voice was shaking now. "We have kids. We have a business. We have a life. You're going to throw away everything over this?" I looked at her, really looked at her, and felt nothing but profound disappointment. "I'm not throwing anything away, Diane. You already did that. The moment you chose to lie, to steal, to betray everything we built together." I walked toward the hallway. "Pack your things. You can stay at Carol's. I want you out by Sunday evening." Diane didn't leave quietly. She spent the next hour cycling through every manipulation tactic she'd ever used. First came the tears, the pleading, the promises that it was just a mistake, that Scott meant nothing, that she'd end it immediately if I'd just give her another chance. When that didn't work, she tried bargaining. We could go to counseling, we could work through this. Divorce would hurt the kids more than her affair ever could. When I didn't respond, she turned vicious. "You'll regret this," Diane hissed, her face twisting into something ugly. "My father will destroy you. You think you can just kick me out of my own company? I built that business just as much as you did." "Our company," I corrected calmly. "And according to the partnership agreement you signed, infidelity committed by a partner, especially when using company resources for personal gain, triggers an immediate buyout clause at a discounted valuation. Kevin's already drafting the paperwork. You'll get what you're legally entitled to. Nothing more." Her face went chalk white. "You talked to your brother about this? You told Kevin?" "I talked to my attorney about protecting my interests and my children's interests," I said firmly. "Sarah's got student loans. Tyler's thinking about trade school. Grace needs stability, not chaos. You think I'm going to let you take them down with you? Let you destroy their future because you couldn't keep your vows?" That shut her up for about 10 seconds. "The kids don't need to know about this," Diane said desperately. "We can tell them we grew apart. We can be civil." "I agree," I replied, "which is why you're going to pack your things quietly and leave without making a scene. Because if you force me to explain to Grace why her mother destroyed this family, I will tell her the truth." That afternoon, after Diane had locked herself in the bedroom, I called Sarah. She deserved to know first, being the oldest and the most perceptive. We talked over video chat, her in her dorm room at Ohio State, me in my office with the door closed. "Dad, what's going on?" Sarah asked immediately. "Mom texted me some weird stuff about changes, and I heard her crying in the background when I called earlier." I took a deep breath. No point in sugarcoating it. "Your mother and I are getting divorced. She's been having an affair for the past several months, and I'm not willing to stay in a marriage without trust and honesty." Sarah stared at me through the screen. I watched her process it, saw the confusion, then the understanding, then the anger flash across her face. "That's why she's been so weird lately. All those Thursday meetings." Her voice was tight. "I knew something was wrong." "I'm sorry you had to see that, honey. I should have handled this sooner." "Don't apologize." Sarah's jaw set in a way that reminded me of myself. "She did this, not you. Are we going to be okay?" "We're going to be fine," I promised. "Better than fine. I need you to help me with Tyler and Grace, though. They're going to need their big sister more than ever." She nodded, wiping her eyes quickly. "What about the business?" "Smart kid, always thinking 2 steps ahead." "I'm buying her out. The company will continue. Our guys will keep their jobs. Nothing changes professionally." That evening, I sat Tyler and Grace down together in the living room. Tyler was old enough to handle more details. Grace needed gentler truths. "Your mom and I have decided to get divorced," I said simply. "Sometimes adults make mistakes and hurt each other, and the best thing to do is to live separately so we can both be better parents to you." Tyler went silent, his face shutting down the way it did when he was processing something painful. Grace's eyes filled with tears immediately. "Is it my fault?" Grace whispered. I pulled her onto my lap. "No, sweetheart. This has nothing to do with you. This is between your mom and me. You 3 are the best thing that ever happened to me, and that will never change." Tyler finally spoke. "Where's Mom going to live?" "With Aunt Carol for now. You'll still see her. We'll work out a schedule." By Sunday evening, Diane was gone. She'd packed 4 suitcases, taken her car, and left without saying goodbye to the kids. Just walked out the door while they were at their grandfather Harold's house. 25 years of marriage, 3 children, and she couldn't even face them. Sarah drove down from Columbus that night and found me in the garage, organizing tools just to keep my hands busy. "She's really gone," Sarah said. "Yeah." "Good," Sarah said quietly, fiercely. "She doesn't deserve you, and she doesn't deserve us." I pulled my daughter into a hug and realized something profound. I wasn't broken. I wasn't even damaged. I was free. Monday morning hit like a freight train. I was in my office at Brooks Electrical, reviewing the preliminary buyout calculations Kevin had sent over when Brenda, our office manager, knocked on my door. "Gary, there's someone here to see you, says it's urgent, name's Scott Reynolds." My blood went cold, then hot, then settled into something perfectly calm. "Send him in." Scott Reynolds walked into my office like he owned the place. Tall, confident, wearing an expensive shirt that screamed contractor money. He had that practiced smile, the kind that worked on homeowners, and apparently worked on my wife. "Gary Brooks," Scott extended his hand. I didn't take it, just looked at him until he lowered it awkwardly. "I think we need to talk," Scott said, settling into the chair across from my desk uninvited. "About what?" I asked. "About the Riverside Mall project, the one you're bidding electrical for. I'm the general contractor evaluating your proposal." The room tilted slightly. This couldn't be real. The universe couldn't be this cruel or this perfect. "You're joking," I said flatly. Scott's smile widened. "Not joking. Small town, right? I've been reviewing your proposal for the past 3 weeks. Very impressive work. Diane's been helping me understand your company's capabilities during our meetings." There it was, the smugness, the deliberate provocation. I stood up slowly, walked around my desk, and closed the office door. Then I turned to face him, keeping my voice perfectly level. "Let me make something very clear," I said. "My personal life and my professional life are completely separate. You want to evaluate our proposal? Fine. Evaluate it on merit. But if you think you can leverage your relationship with my soon-to-be ex-wife to manipulate this deal, you're making a serious mistake." Scott's smile faltered. "I'm not trying to manipulate anything." "Then why are you here?" I asked. "In my office telling me you're sleeping with my wife and reviewing my biggest contract? What exactly did you hope to accomplish?" He shifted uncomfortably. "I wanted to be upfront, professional, man to man." "Man to man?" I stepped closer. "A man doesn't sleep with another man's wife. A man doesn't use business opportunities to rub affairs in someone's face. You want professional? Get out of my office. Review the proposal objectively. Make your decision based on the work, not the drama." Scott stood up. "You're making this personal." "You made it personal the moment you touched my wife," I replied. "Now you're in my office trying to what? Intimidate me? Assert dominance? I don't intimidate, Scott. And if you tank this deal because of your relationship with Diane, I'll make sure every contractor in Summit County knows exactly why. This industry talks. Choose wisely." Scott left without another word. I sat back down at my desk, hands shaking slightly, and called Kevin. "We've got a problem," I said. The divorce proceedings moved fast. Kevin had warned me that with the evidence we had, it would be more of a formality than a battle, and he was right. Diane showed up with some hotshot attorney from Cleveland, a woman named Patricia Walsh, who specialized in high-asset divorces. They came ready for war. "Your Honor," Patricia began, "my client has been systematically pushed out of the business she helped build. Mr. Brooks has used his position to isolate her, to turn their children against her, and to manipulate financial records." Kevin stood immediately. "Your Honor, we have documented evidence that Mrs. Brooks engaged in an extramarital affair using company resources, embezzled company funds, and transferred marital assets without consent. We're not requesting anything beyond what the partnership agreement stipulates." Judge Martinez, a no-nonsense woman in her 60s, looked over the documents. "I've reviewed the partnership agreement. The infidelity clause is clear. Mrs. Brooks, did you or did you not engage in an affair while using company credit cards for personal expenses?" Diane's attorney tried to object, but the judge silenced her with a look. "I made a mistake," Diane said quietly, playing the victim. "I was lonely. Gary had become distant, cold. I sought companionship." "That's not what I asked," Judge Martinez interrupted. "Did you use company funds for personal expenses related to an extramarital relationship?" Diane hesitated. "Yes, but..." "And did you transfer $35,000 from business accounts without your partner's knowledge or consent?" "That money was mine too," Diane argued. "I earned it." Kevin stood again. "Your Honor, those funds were specifically designated for business expansion and equipment purchases. Mrs. Brooks transferred them 3 weeks before Mr. Brooks even discovered the affair. We have documentation showing premeditation." The judge reviewed more documents. "I'm ordering the immediate return of 75% of those funds to the business account. Mrs. Brooks, you'll receive your buyout according to the partnership agreement terms, which, given the circumstances, is generous." Diane's face went white. Patricia Walsh tried to argue, but the judge had made her decision. Outside the courthouse, Diane approached me, tears streaming down her face. "Gary, please don't do this. We can still fix this." "There's nothing to fix," I said calmly. "You made your choices. Now you live with the consequences." "What about Scott?" she said desperately. "He lost the mall contract because of you. He's struggling. We need that money." I stared at her, genuinely shocked. "You're asking me to fund your affair? After everything?" "I'm asking you to have compassion," Diane replied. "I have compassion," I said. "For our kids, for the family you destroyed, for the future you threw away, but for you and Scott, you're on your own." Kevin pulled me away before I could say anything else. "Let's go, Gary. You won." But it didn't feel like winning. It just felt like surviving. The business recovery happened faster than I expected. Without Diane's constant drama and Scott's interference, Brooks Electrical found its rhythm again. The guys had been walking on eggshells for months, not understanding why there was so much tension in the office. Once she was gone, the whole atmosphere changed. I promoted Larry Martinez, my lead electrician for 8 years, to foreman. Good guy, steady hands, the crew respected him. With the buyout money I'd recovered, I bought 2 new trucks and hired 3 more electricians. The Riverside Mall contract came through. Apparently the project manager had been impressed with our professionalism during the Scott situation, as he called it. Sarah came home every other weekend now, helping with Grace, making sure Tyler stayed on track with his apprentice program. She'd grown up fast through all this, but in a good way. More focused, more determined. She'd changed her major to business management with a focus on family enterprises. "Someone needs to know how to protect what you built, Dad," she told me. Tyler surprised me the most. At 19, he threw himself into learning the electrical trade with an intensity I recognized. He was good with his hands, patient with the detail work, respectful to the older guys on the crew. "I want to earn this," he told me when I offered to fast-track his training. "I don't want anyone thinking I got ahead because I'm your son." Grace struggled more. At 16, she was old enough to understand what had really happened, but young enough to still want her mom around. She saw Diane every other weekend, came back quiet and sometimes angry. I got her into counseling with a woman named Dr. Peterson, who specialized in kids dealing with divorce. "She's processing," Dr. Peterson told me after one session. "Grace feels abandoned, but she's also angry at being abandoned. It's normal. She needs time." 3 months after the divorce was final, Harold Mitchell called me, Diane's father, 78 years old and tougher than a $2 steak. "Gary, you got a minute?" "Of course, Harold. What's going on?" "I need to tell you something about my daughter." I waited. "She's been calling everyone for money. Her brothers, her cousins, even tried calling my sister in Florida. Says you left her with nothing, that you stole the business from her." My stomach tightened. "Harold, you know that's not true." "Of course I do. I read that partnership agreement you had drawn up. Smart thinking. But here's what I want you to know. She called here last week, drunk, crying, asking if she could move back home." "What did you tell her?" "I told her she made her bed. I told her she had a good man who loved her, 3 beautiful kids, and a business that could have supported them all for life. And she threw it away for what? Some smooth-talking contractor who dumped her the minute things got rough?" I didn't know what to say. "You're a good man, Gary Brooks. Better than she deserved. I'm sorry for what she put you and those kids through." Harold's words stayed with me for weeks. Not because I needed validation. I knew what I'd done was right. But because they reminded me that even in the middle of betrayal and divorce, there were still people who understood the value of commitment, of building something together, of keeping your word. 6 months after the divorce was final, I stood in the living room of our new house in Columbus, watching movers carry in furniture. The move had been Sarah's idea. "Dad, you need a fresh start. We all do. Columbus has more opportunities and it's only 2 hours from Akron, close enough to keep our clients, far enough to breathe." Sarah had transferred to Ohio State's main campus to be closer. Tyler was thriving in the electrical apprentice program with the IBEW Local 683. Grace had adjusted to her new high school better than I'd expected and joined the art club. Brooks Electrical had not just survived, but flourished. Without Diane's constant drama and Scott's interference, we'd landed 3 major commercial contracts in Columbus. I'd kept the Akron office running with Larry as manager and opened our Columbus branch with myself and 6 new guys. The business was growing faster than it had in years. Diane had moved in with Scott initially, but that lasted exactly 3 months. Turned out when Scott lost the mall contract and word got around about his unprofessional conduct, other contractors stopped hiring him. His business went under by Christmas. Diane called me once, asking for financial help. I hung up. She'd burned through her settlement money within 4 months, tried to take me back to court for more support, and lost. Her attorney had advised her to settle and move on. Sarah barely spoke to her. Tyler saw her once a month out of duty. Grace asked about her sometimes, but didn't push when I suggested we focus on the people who were actually present in her life. The most surprising development was Harold Mitchell becoming a regular presence in our lives. The 78-year-old showed up for Tyler's apprentice graduation, took Grace to art shows downtown, and had Sunday dinners with us twice a month. "You know what I regret most?" Harold asked me one Sunday evening after Grace had gone upstairs to do homework. We were sitting on the back porch, watching the sunset over the Columbus skyline. "What's that?" "That I raised a daughter who could look at what you two built together and throw it away for temporary excitement. I thought I taught her better than that." "Harold, you're not responsible for her choices." "Maybe not, but I'm responsible for mine, and I choose to be here with you and these kids instead of enabling her self-pity." Grace came downstairs carrying her latest art project, a pencil drawing of our new house. "Dad, where should I hang this?" "Wherever you want," I said. "This is your home." She smiled, the kind of genuine smile that had been rare for months after the divorce. "It feels like home now. Different from the old house, but better somehow." That evening, after Harold had gone home and the kids were settled, I sat in my office looking over the business books. Brooks Electrical was pulling in 40% more revenue than when Diane was involved. The crew was happier, the jobs were running smoother, and our reputation in both Akron and Columbus was solid. My phone buzzed with a text from Kevin. "Scott Reynolds filed for bankruptcy yesterday. Diane moved back in with Carol. Thought you should know." I deleted the message without responding. Their problems weren't mine anymore. I thought about the man I'd been a year ago, the one who discovered his wife's betrayal and thought his world was ending. I'd been wrong. My world hadn't ended. It had just been cleared of the rot so something stronger could grow in its place. I'd taught my kids that integrity matters, that honesty matters, that you don't compromise your values even when it hurts. They'd watched me stand up for myself, fight for our family, and rebuild from what could have been ashes. Sarah was excelling in her business program, already talking about joining the company after graduation. Tyler was confident and skilled in his trade, earning respect from guys with decades more experience. Grace was happy, creative, and surrounded by people who actually showed up for her. And me? I was free. Free from walking on eggshells, free from wondering if my partner was lying to me, free from the exhaustion of trying to fix something that the other person had deliberately broken. The betrayal had broken me open initially, but what grew back was tougher, clearer, and better focused. I'd learned that love without respect is worthless, that trust is earned daily through consistent actions, and that sometimes the strongest thing you can do is walk away from people who don't value what you've built together. I didn't hate Diane anymore. I didn't think about her much at all. She was just a chapter in my story, not the whole book. And the next chapters, those were mine to write, with people who understood the difference between building something together and tearing it down for temporary pleasure. Looking back, I realized the most important lesson from this whole mess. When someone shows you through their actions that they don't value what you've built together, believe them the first time. Don't wait for proof. Don't hope they'll change. Don't sacrifice your self-respect trying to save something they've already decided to destroy. Sometimes the kindest thing you can do for everyone involved is to let them face the consequences of their choices while you protect what actually matters.